Hello, good day. Welcome to css3 flexbox justify content tutorial. Now, what is justify content? Justify content is a css3 flexbox property which is applied to the parent to position align the children items across the main axis. Okay, so it's a property. It has some values, predefined values. So when we applied those values and property together to a parent element, the children items gets aligned or positioned along the main axis. Now, what is main axis? So when a flex direction is set to row, specifically remember for direction is LTR, that is the default one. When direction is set to LTR and flex direction is row, the main axis runs from left to right. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? The meaning is that your children elements start positioning from the leftmost side. So the first element go on the leftmost side, then the next element would go after the first element towards the right side. Okay, so first element go here, second element go after that, third element go after that, and they would keep on being placed towards the right side. Okay, that's how from left to right. For flex direction row, direction set to left to right. For flex direction column, again direction set to left to right. Okay, the main axis would run from top to bottom. Okay, and that means again, and the first element would go on the topmost, then the second element would go the after that, like that. Now for row reverse, it would be from right to left. So the rightmost side first element would go, then the next element would go after that. Okay, that's how towards the left side. Okay, that's how it would be positioned. For column reverse, it's bottom to top. First element would go at the bottommost of the parent, and then the next element go on top of that. That's how they would be positioned. Okay. Now let us see all this in action. So I have here a container element. If you see the container, I didn't specify any width, and it took the 100% width of the body. Now that isn't because div is a block level element in HTML, and it takes the entire row. Okay. Now unless you specify the width. And now for the other, this is the children element. The container has box 1, 2, 3, and if I specify nothing but only the border, and you would be seeing what is this, how much width it took. And if you see, they also took the 100% width of the parent. They didn't do the 100% width of the entire body or the HTML. They took the 100% width of the parent. I can prove that the moment I would specify the width of the parent, say 60%. You see, they also took still the 100% width of the parent, the children element took. Okay. Now, if you see, they are oriented. The children elements are oriented by default column wise. Okay. Now, this is the default orientation because again they are a block level element. That is, they go one top of another. Now, if the moment I would put say display, say flex, if you see, their behavior has changed. Remember, here the direction is set to direction is set to L to R. That is a default one. That is why display the moment I put display flex, and because of the two properties which are by default, like flex direction, which is in here, it is row now, and if I make justify content, which is the property in discussion, it is flex start. So because it is taking this property, these two default properties, that is why they are sitting at starting position. So the starting position, the moment we apply display flex to a container, the behavior of the children elements are determined by these three set of properties. Of course, there are other properties also, but as we are discussing justify content, but justify content flex start can be along with other properties also can determine the position of the children elements. But when direction is set to L to R, flex direction is row, justify content set to flex start would always put the children items at the starting position, at the leftmost position of the parent. Okay, say if I change it to flex end, they would go the other side. Okay, there are other properties okay, so if I change it back to flex start, and if I put another children element, say let me mark it 4, and if you see, it got positioned to the right side of the last element. Okay, so across the main axis it would go from left to right. Now there are other properties like flex end, flex start, and like I can give you center. So what center would do, it would position the set of elements, all the children items together at the middle of the parent. Okay. Now there are other property, like we can put some space if you would like to have. So if I put space between, if you see, they will have space, equal space between them. You can also control the spacing, like if you would like to have spacing around equal, so you can go with this space around. So the moment you space around, you will see they would have equal space around them. Okay. Now if I change this, say if I go back to the flex start, and if I change this to R2L, if you see that the complete orientation is changed now. They are starting from right side. Okay. Okay, let me change this back to L to R. Now if I change this to column, if you see they are behaving the similar way. So let me increase this to maybe 170 a bit. So column wise, now the main axis is running from top to bottom. Okay, for column. Okay, so that is why the last element is sitting below the previous element. Okay. Now here also you can control. If I mark it at flex end, they would be sitting at the towards the end of the container from top to bottom wise. Now I can make it center also. They would be at the center. If you do the other also, space between and all, I'm sorry, this is space between, they would have space between them. Now one thing I wanted to show it to you also, like let me go back to row and let me make this center, not center, maybe center would be good. Now say they are all centrally, now let me reduce the height. Yeah, it's a property called gap. So if I put it like 5px, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, if you see, they have a gap between them of 5px. Okay, thank you for watching this.